Hello. Hi, friends. Happy Tuesday. Susan, Denise, Mary. Oh, Mary. I forget. It's summer and you're retired now. Oh, and Brandon. Thank you guys so much for popping in. The counter says it starts in an hour. Ooh. Did we have issues? Oh, that was earlier. Are you guys back again? Am I here? I was like way up at the top. Well, thank you for coming back. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Karen. Sorry for the time. It was originally set at 1:30, and then yesterday I had to change it because I completely forgot that I had a appointment. So that was totally my bad. Okay. So normally I don't have any kind of game plan. We just kind of wing it to see what we're doing. But today I actually have a game plan. Aren't you proud of me? Oh yeah, you were there at 1:30. I'm sorry. Hi, Paula. So here, I just want to say this before we get into it. This was just like serendipitous because I had already picked out some things to make, and then yesterday in my email, I actually got the sales email from Pretty Pring Posh, and they're actually having a 15% off their summer category. Like they're having a sale right now, 15% off their summer category. So I've linked that in the description. They have lots of great stuff for summer. So no, I have not moved it around. This camera, hold on. I'm going to bump you around just a little bit. This camera has slid back, I think. Nope, stop it. There we go. It's a little cattywampus, but it'll do because I'm going to end up in the bottom down here and you'll barely be able to see me. So anyway, hi, Caitlin. So they're having a sale, very serendipitous, through the 26th, and it's on their summer category. So great timing because we are going to be using some summer products. So I'm going to take me down here into the bottom corner. Hello, still here. I also love a sale. So I'm going to have to get in there and see. I have a lot of their summer stuff because she does it so well. But I'm going to have to get in there and see maybe some older stuff that I don't have that I would like. So I have pulled out, this is the summer banner greetings with the banner greetings too. I pulled out this sun. This sun is meant to can also be a shaker. I wouldn't use it as a shaker today, but I'm not 100% like married. Excuse me. My apologies. So I'm not married to this, but I have maybe an idea. This I have pulled out. So we're going to be using the stitched seashells, which is dies today. Hi, Diane. But if you are a stamp girly, you could also use these stamps. Either one would work. I am going to use this sentiment here, the You Are Special, up here. So in addition to that, I am also using the Shoreline Borders, the Sand Bucket Shaker. This is another shaker element. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, let me go. Thank you, Melissa. Let me go back to the what we're doing today. So I'm going to show you. This is, let me zoom in. Is this the zoom? You think I would know. Okay. So this is sand embossing powder from Hero Arts. Okay. And it makes it look like sand. Where's my, did I pitch it? Surely I didn't. Did I? Maybe. Should I throw away my example? No. What did I do with it? Why would I throw that? Whatever. I'll make a new one, I guess, so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So anyway, this is sand embossing powder. And I love this. And I use this on all of my summer cards. And it's fantastic. And you know embossing powder lasts 100 years. So I will probably almost never run out of this. But here's the thing, okay? It's fantastic and I love it. But when Spellbinders bought out Hero Arts, it's one of the embossing powders that they stopped making. Okay, which is a real bummer because it's great. Now I understand that they cannot keep all of the things, and I get that. So here I'm going to show you what it looks like, so you know what we're working with here. Okay. And then I'm going to heat set it. Let me put the lid back on so I don't waste what I got. Okay. I didn't preheat, so this is going to take a second. Sand without stippling. Yes. So let me just make sure I got it all. There we go. Okay. So you can see I had some pieces parts blow off, but that's okay. So you can see it's kind of a metallic. Okay. It's got some other little bitty bobs in there, but they don't make it. You can't get it anymore. It's nowhere to be found. So we're going to make our own. That's what we're going to do. Okay. We're going to make our own to mimic this because it's so good. We cannot go without. You know what I'm saying? We can't. We cannot go without. All right. So I have a little tray. We have to do this part at the beginning because I will say this repeatedly. It is wildly important. You have to wait for it to be completely dry before you heat set it. Okay? It has to be completely dry. So here is what we need in order to make this work. I am using Hero Arts because that is what I have on hand. But you most assuredly could probably use other options. Okay, so here's what I've got. I've got a clear embossing powder and a white embossing powder. You will see here just in a minute how much of a difference this makes and why you need both of them in order to make it work. I also, did I put those away? I sure did. Why did I do that? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Stand by. I have to grab my things. Okay. There we go. These are the two colors I've picked, which is an E31, so it's like a tannish beige and a darker brown. You don't have to pick these colors. You don't have to use Copic marker refills. You can use alcohol inks. They are the same thing. So, yeah, Denise, we're making our own, baby. All right, so you just need brown alcohol ink. That is what you need, whether it is a refill or a regular alcohol ink. That's what you need. Okay, a light and a dark brown. So now, this is the clear. Okay, and I'm just going to do a couple of little scoops. That's going to take forever. I'm not going to do scoops. I'm lying to you. I'm just going to pour it. Okay, so we need clear in these ones. Now you could do more if you wanted. Oh, I did see your message, Susan. I didn't see where they were discontinuing them, and I tried to find it after you messaged me, but I could not find it. Okay, so this is white over here. White embossing powder, clear embossing powder. Oh, there's my sister. Hi, Sissy. Okay, so now we're going to take a couple of drops. That's 3. I just did 3. Okay. of the light, and we'll see how far this gets us. We might have to add some more, but we're going to try for now. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, those got 4 or more. Okay. Oh, you went to order the refill and it popped up. Interesting. Okay, I put 2 more drops in there. Okay, so now I'm going to take, this is a dye release tool, and I'm just going to stir them up, kind of smush it around so that the color gets distributed. It will be kind of chunky. That's none of our business right now. We're not worried about that. Okay. We're going to leave it like that. And then we're going to go over here and do the same thing to the white. See how that little bit kind of goes a long way? And you see with the difference, this is clear. With the same color, this is white. See why we have to have both? They look completely different. Okay. We'll get in here and do the dark brown one. I just kind of like stir it and smush it. You have to wait until these dry because we are going to heat set them, and alcohol is flammable. So you have to wait and make sure they are completely dry. That is why we are doing this step at the beginning. And then we're going to work on our other elements. I just cleaned off my, we're going to work on our other elements to make sure that this has plenty of time to dry. When I originally tried it, I did it and then I let it sit for probably like 5 or 6 hours because I did it right before I was kind of done with that portion of the day, and then I was going to come back to it in the evening after my jelly bean was in bed. So, okay. So now we have them mixed up. Light, light, dark, dark. You can see how different they are based on the clear and on the white. And we're going to let them do their things. We're going to set them aside, and then we're going to work on our other elements. We are done with these. Okay. Alrighty. That's kind of important. Yes. Let them dry. Let them dry completely. I don't know how to be more clear about it. You have to let them dry. Okay. So now I am. Oh, hi, Dawn. Hey, Brandon's back again. I appreciate you coming back to visit. Okay. All right, I'm just going to cut this in half. I'm going to use this for my seashells. And let's think about this for a second. So we're going to have, hi, Linda, brown sand, teal water, blue sky. These are going to be, I think we should go with like a, oh, why so sneezy today? Who knows? What should we, I don't want to do yellow. Maybe we'll do like a corally color bucket. Like a, that's Dahlia from Spellbinders. That might be too bright. Maybe not. Let's do, I think that's from Gina. That might be pretty. Let's try that. It's like a bright coral. Thank you for all the blessings. I need them, Lord knows. Okay. So we're going to do our bucket and our what is that? Our shovel. I couldn't think of the word. We're going to do our bucket and our shovel out of this coral color. I'm going to do the handle out of white. I'm going to do my die cutting first, so that way I think I'm the only plumber. Oh, plum vote. I just did a card that had plum in it. It was Gina K's. She doesn't call it plum though. She called it something else. Just out of curiosity, Denise, is that the sale price? Because they are 15% off right now. Okay, so now we're going to go with some of the smaller shells because we want them to be inside. I can probably stick that one in there and maybe this one. Okay. And then I'm going to do, I think, a little bit of a bigger one. Not the sand dollar. That's too big. The little... Oh, you're talking about Dawn stamp set. No, that's what they listed on the site. Okay, that's good to know, Denise. Okay, so maybe we'll do that. Or maybe we'll do the shovel over here and a little, we'll see. We'll play with that later. I'd rather cut it now and not need it than not cut it and need it later, because we all know I don't like to go back and have to cut it. Okay, and all of these pretty little seashells go on white. Okay, there we go. This hit like the last, because we went on vacation, like it has been hectic around here. It has been a little bit crazy trying to still get things done. And then we both have a short work week again this week. My poor husband, I sent him a message yesterday and I was like, I hope your Monday isn't too Monday. And it was Mondaying. It certainly was Mondaying. Okay. A lime green bucket. That is a cute idea. I don't think the lime green will stand out against the teal as much as I would like it to. Hello, Michelle. All right. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get my honker of a die cut machine up here. Here, do you see this? This is my child. And those things are so sticky. And she tries to run off with them. And then this one, will this fit if we just let the top part hang off? I think it will. And it will. Lovely. Okay. There we go. I get my hip replaced on Monday. Hope the doctor's not having me on Monday. Oh, Susan, I will keep you in my prayers. I hope that everything goes well and you have a speedy recovery. My dad had, well, my father-in-law's had both of his replaced, and my dad had his done, well, 2019, 2020. Graham was still alive. Michelle, when dad have his hip done? Because I know she's, I feel like it was 2020. Okay. So we got all our little seashells. Cute, cute, cute. I need this back again, though, so that I can cut out the middle so we'll be able to see the seashells. Okay. Well, Graham passed in 21. So I think it was 2020. It was 2020 because Graham was already in the hospital bed. And she broke her hip in February of 2020. Well, Mom and Dad were in Vegas. So yeah, it was 2020. Okay, so now we're cutting that out. And that's going to let us make the shaker portion, which I'm not going to do it as a shaker. I'm going to build it clear so that we can see the seashells inside of it, but I'm not going to do it as like a shaker element. Okay, so that's that. That goes back over here. I'm going to put these over here so I don't lose them, because you know I will. I will most assuredly misplace them. Okay. And then we're going to do some ink blending. So we're going to do some ink blending for our background. Let me just double check. Yeah, see, that one's not. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so we'll do some ink blending for our background. We'll do some ink blending on our die cuts. I don't need a hip replacement, but sometimes I think I need a new brain. Well, it depends on the day, honestly. Sometimes I think I do as well. I feel like more and more, I'm like, what am I doing? What is happening? What did I walk in this room for? Okay. I do need I don't know why I put these away. They were just sitting on my desk. Come on now. There it is. There it is. Okay. I already pulled out all the other ones, but I did not. So these are going to be my seashell colors. See why I picked the coral now? Does that make sense? Orange, yellow. I'm using these because I don't have a lot of the lighter colors in the bigger ones, which is what I use for the backgrounds I like those for the backgrounds. I do have some that are a little bit lighter that I could use maybe. Yeah, see, that's like a red. So I'll just go with the ones that I know. Where's my orange, though? Where's the dried marigold? I don't see it, and I know that it's in here. Oh, yep, there it is. It's just facing the wrong way. Okay. I think we are good. Okay. So I'm actually going to grab this too. Okay. There's a card contest for our state fair, but it says, so no professionals. My kids said I'm not allowed to apply, but I don't consider myself a professional. Any opinions? You would be considered a professional because you represent a company. I would say if you're just a regular card maker who's not on any design teams or, and you're not being compensated at all, I would say not professional. If you are being compensated, which only you can answer that question, I'm not asking you to share your business, but if you are being compensated for your contributions, then I would say that, yes, probably professional. Look at that. Okay. So I'm going to scoot these over. This is to build our background. Oh, you know what? I forgot to cut the shore. Y'all. I forgot to cut the shore. So I'm going to have to do that real quick. See, I thought I had got all my die cutting out of the way. Turns out, no. All right. I know I keep using the same one, but I do like that one. So I'm going to go back to this one. Compensation includes free dies and stamps. Denise, I disagree with that. I can't make what you need me to make if you don't send me the product. So the product is not reasonable compensation, in my humble opinion. Okay, I'm going to cut this. Like this. Because I don't know how high up I want to. Does that make sense there? Yeah, that might be okay. It would actually go this way. Down here. Because you would have the sand. This would be the surf coming in. Okay. All right, so I'm going to glue this here. I am cutting it long ways, so that way I will have a little bit of room to kind of play around. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go back to the floor and die cut it. Okay, now back with this. Hello, Kelly. I wish Heartfelt Creations would sell their dies, stamps, and paper designs to a company. I don't think I'm actually familiar with them. I disagree with that. I make cards and I don't consider myself a professional. I get free dies and stamps. Yeah, I think we as designers, like, we spent a long time fighting for actual compensation and not just compensation as free product. So I'm thinking business, though. Legal would see it as a compensation as the dies and stamps have monetary value. Okay. I'm not sure which side I'm going to use yet, so I'm going to keep both. But first, I'm going to add a little bit of something here. I could do abandoned coral if I want it to be like more on the red side, but I'm be honest with you, I don't want it to be more on the red side ever, really, unless it's Christmas. So I'm going to use a pink. And then I'm going to do a little like cheater moment. I'm not going to use my markers, but I am going to do some creative masking so that I can add shading. This way. It's got to go this way. So I can add shading, more detailed shading, I guess. Okay. And then on this one, I'm going to go right through the center. When I do videos, I don't mark sponsored because I'm an affiliate with a company, not sponsored. So I do mark, like they'll ask you like if it includes compensation, because YouTube specifically says on there that it includes free product. So I always mark it because it's important to be transparent, but it's specifically because they say including free product. Sorry, I just had to trim that down a little bit. Okay. Thank you so much. I've only ever sold one card. I've sold more than one, but not many. Not many more than one, Brandon. All right. So now I'm going to do the saltwater taffy and then the picked raspberry. So here I'm going to go up into the handle. And down here. And this way so that it adds a little bit of shading and it's going to make the lip stand out. And then I'm going to add some from the bottom as well. Okay. This one I'm going to remove. Okay. Because now I want my darker shading to be on the center of the handle. So I'm going to flip-flop it around, keeping the straight edge here. The ripped edge doesn't matter as much. Okay. It can be hard to get it to stick again once it's got a little bit of moisture on it. Oh, I always wondered what that meant. Yeah, so if you're getting free product on YouTube anyway, because they specify, you should be marking that it's a sponsored video or whatever they call it. Paid something. Okay, so now I'm going to add the pink in here. And then there we go. Okay, now pink here. Oh yeah, Dawn says she does the same thing. Which makes every video, like, yeah, same. Pretty much all my videos are marked sponsored. Okay, so now we've added a little bit of shading to that. So you can see the difference there. And then I am going to, sorry, let me, my child is home for the summer, which means he's doing a really excellent job of keeping me up to date on what he's doing out there. But it does mean that sometimes I do have to pay attention to that. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of pink from the sides. And then I will add a little bit of the saltwater taffy from the sides as well. Not as dark, but just a little something something. So it's not just flat cardstock. Okay, then we'll remove this. And we have just a little bit of shading. Nothing crazy. just so it doesn't look flat. Okay, set those aside. And then we're going to get rid of that. We're going to keep the saltwater taffy. We're going to start working on our seashells. I do very much like to color them. Hi, Jennifer. But I know not everybody does. And I'm trying, it's hard for me. I am trying to police myself better about the things that I'm doing. Okay. So here's what we got going on for colors. So I think I'm going to do a little antique linen here. Hi, Julie. We're going to do a little antique linen on here, I think. Just kind of up from the bottom. Okay. I'm going to also add some from here. You could also use like a hickory smoke, like a cool gray. I'm not. I'm just going to keep mine warm today. And then we're going to do the saltwater taffy. I'm going to do that, I think, on this one. Oh, thanks, Denise. Denise reminding everyone to hit the like button. I do appreciate you. Okay. And maybe we'll do some pink on here. Okay. Then we're going to do the dried marigold. I'm kind of coming in from the sides, so we're still starting off the paper, but I'm not completely covering up that saltwater taffy. Take this for what it's worth, but it isn't, which isn't mud. Washington typically defines professional in this context as someone who regularly makes a profit. Yeah, so that's what I said. Like if you're being compensated. I don't know if you are. Again, your business. You know what your business is. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of dried marigold onto my little starfish. And I'm also going to add a little bit over here. Okay, and then we'll move on to the scattered straw. And we'll do just a little bit light-handed around the top here. That's a pretty little seashell, isn't it? Okay, we're going to add some to this little guy. And him, for his stripes, I am going to use a marker because sometimes it's just easier. But yeah, a little bit of yellow down here. Okay. So that's what we've got going on there. I am going to do a... Oh, you live in Florida, you love the water scenes. Thank you very much, Kelly. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of splattering because I like that. If you don't like that, that's okay. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, and here. Just going to go right down the line. These will be, they're lighter colors already, and I've added water to dilute them. So it's really just going to add a little bit of texture, not a ton of color, which is fun. It's just supposed to help them look more interesting. Because we didn't really do a lot there. You know what I'm saying? We just did a little bit of ink blending. So I'm going to move these, scoot them down out of my way. Not that I shouldn't have said it that way because it sounds like ink blending isn't interesting. It depends on how much effort you're putting into it. I did very low effort ink blending. You want some new inks. You have Distress and Simon Says Stamp. I don't have any of the Simon Says Stamp, so I cannot speak to that. I have a lot of Altenew. I have Hero Arts as well, which I do like. I'm not sure if those will be phased out. I'm not sure if like Spellbinders will be keeping those or not. I have the Pink Fresh, the current ones, but those are being phased out as well. So I'm not 100% sure what their new ones will be like. But I do like Altenews. They do dry back nice. Altenew. Love the size of these. Altenew are out of your budget. Altenew is out of your budget. Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry. I'm trying to read it at the same time. I am going to add just a little bit of shading to this. So I'm just going to grab one that already has gray on it. And then I'm just going to take that kind of up the center. I have heard, I think, good things about Concord 9th, but I do believe they have a foam pad. Dawn, I think, could maybe tell me. I think she has some other inks. Okay. All right, so this is also, you know what, why don't we just do that? Hold on, instead of I was going to mask it, but now I don't think I have to. Yeah, I use Distress inks for a lot of things. All right, so if this is my water, I can make this be my beach. And then, but I don't like this. Maybe I'll just make, no. Maybe I'll just make this be my beach. And then I'll tuck my, sorry, I'm working through. So my bucket will go here, like in the water. I think we just do this one and then we'll mask the skyline because the horizon will be straight. So that should be like super easy to do. Okay. So let me figure out where this is going to go. This is all the stuff that I get to cut out of the video. I cut out of the video so you don't have to see it. All right. So here is our beach. We're going to tuck our into the surf. This will be surf. And then we're going to have our little shovel possibly over there. We're not married to that yet. So I think the horizon line should be like here. More sky than water here. Okay. Beep, beep. Just going to mark it. All right. Now, oh yeah, I have full set syndrome bad. It's not good. So I'm just going to use this Post-it tape and I'm going to pull off a piece big enough to stretch across. And then that way I can mark off. Just want to line this up so it's straight. And then I'll be able to mark off. Okay. So this will be the water. This will be the sky. Right? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. We're going to do the sky first because that's the part that we have open. A sea otter would be so cute. Okay. So for our sky, I'm doing some salvage patina and some salty ocean. I do like the bigger background brushes, the fluffier brushes. No, Dawn, you do not suffer from Balzac syndrome. Dawn just be plucking stuff from everywhere. It doesn't even bother her. We are built different, but I love her nonetheless. Okay. So anyway, these, I do like the way that these kind of make a softer sky. So I'm going to go in with the salvage patina first. And then I'm just going to bring in kind of where I want the blue to be peeking through. Because this salvage patina is still bright, but it blends out nicely into the white. Oh, Gina K. I forgot about hers. I do like Gina K's inks. I do have several of those. I just have the cubes, though. Gina K's are good. I like that they are matchy-matchy, and that's the same thing with Altenew as well. Like, I like that their cardstock matches their inks, and I don't have to think about whether or not I can find one that matches. Okay. And then we're going to go right over into the same area, which is going to be our blue sky peeking through. But because we have that nice soft buffer of the salvage patina, it's going to make it look like we just have some nice soft white clouds. Okay. There we go. Nice little sky. All right. So now I'm going to remove my tape. And then her Gina is good. Her colors don't. Yeah, her colors are not necessarily as bright. Okay, so now I'm going to line this back up where it just was to now cover the sky so that I can do the water. If we were doing this as a full masked scene, then you would also need to mask down here where your where your beach is going to be. You would mask that as well. But we're not doing that since I'm doing a die cut, I don't have to worry about it. I can just do this whole thing as the ocean. Say, but I do need to get a sip because my dear sweet daughter had a cold. That's a story I'll tell you in another video. But she had a cold, which she then lovingly gave to me. So, my throat is sometimes a little tickly. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Peacock Feathers, Mermaid Lagoon, Uncharted Mariner. Maybe a salvage patina. Let's go with that. Okay. Do I have? I maybe I didn't grab a light enough one. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. I'm dropping stuff. Oh, and it fell right into our. Oh no! It fell right into our embossing powder. All right. Well, we should have enough to get by. There it is. Okay. And look at my camera fell. Boop, boop. Nope. No. 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 You stay. Stay there. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do, the water is darker the further back it is. So I'm going to do some salvaged patina kind of all over. To like prep the area. Gina K and Altenew are felt. Yes, they are little germ factories. So I think I'm over the worst of it, but I still got just a little tickle when I talk a lot, which is real convenient when you have a job where you talk a lot for a living. Okay, so now darker's back here. So I'm going to start with the peacock feathers and bring it down. Now we do need to keep in mind that that sand area is going to come up. So I don't want to be too crazy with our water. Where is it? It is this one. Okay, and then Mermaid Lagoon. Yeah, these are the ones from Trinity. They're excellent. Denise, I'm not going to pretend like they're not. They are my favorite. Especially if you're like me and you like to do a lot of scenes. They put down a lot of color really nicely, really evenly. I'm here for it. They are my favorite. Okay. That is the Mermaid Lagoon. And then I am going to go all the way out to Uncharted Mariner. I went with like a bluish teal, but you could definitely go more green. If you wanted to. I wish I was at the beach. I haven't been to the beach in a long time. In a long, long time. So, blending that back out with the Mermaid Lagoon. And then to the peacock feathers. Oh, what am I doing? I'm over here. I'm trying to read your comments. Oh, all right. Okay. And then salvage patina. All right, so now, before I clean this up, I'm going to take off our mask so we can see our horizon line. Okay, we have a very distinct horizon line, sky, ocean. Oh, thank you, Kelly. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Okay, so then here, this is going to be where the beach is, and we need this to be another piece because we're going to tuck our bucket in. But in order to help it blend a little more seamlessly, I'm going to add some salvage patina right on the edges here. Before I get into blending the sand. Okay, just so that the brown will have a bit of, hold on one second. Was she barking as the kids are? No. Okay, sorry about that. All right, my child is home, so I'm seeing if he can let the dog out because she's barking, which means she probably has to go potty. Okay, I think I just have this one, so maybe I'll grab. There we go. We'll just do a combo. So for our sand, I'm going to use that antique linen. Oh, I got to clean up the blue first, guys. Got to clean up the blue, or it's going to be contaminated. Yes, you saw waves because it does look like waves. You're right. But when we put it in, see how it changes the shoreline here so it looks like the water, and then this is going to be the sand, and the sand will come up. This is going to be the surf part. We're not there yet, but it'll look like surf, and then our little bucket will be in there. Okay, so now we're going to set this over here. We're going to do our sand. I said I was going to, oh, there it is. My granddaughter was over this past week, so I spent 11 days with me, and she grabbed my Distress Oxide brushes and tried to use it on my fresh dye ink. Oh, God love her. Yeah, I had a whole project on my, laid out. I was still in the middle of my video, and I had all my ink brushes, and little Jelly Bean came in yesterday, and she picked it up, and she's like, this. And I was like, no, 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 no. And she's like, I'm just pretending. And I was like, I know, but if you drop that bright red on my project, there won't be no pretending. It will be ruined. Please don't do that. I do love the idea of a doggy door, but I'm in Ohio, so I don't think I can do a doggy door. Okay. And then we're going to do the brushed corduroy. Okay. And then we're going to do some gathered twigs, just a little bit dark. Okay. In real life, this would actually be the opposite. Like the wetter sand would be closer to the water, but because this is a card and that makes it more difficult to blend it, we're not going to do it that way. I actually have two dogs. Molly, my old lady, she is a boxer mastiff mix. And Emma, who is getting up there herself, she's 7 now, if you can even believe that. She is they told us she was a bulldog boxer mix, but I don't see that. Oh, Josie, stay safe. That's so scary. All right. So then that's our sand. I am going to go back in. I'm going to see how this. Okay. I like that. I'm just going to add that little bit of. I don't think I'm going to go in with the peacock feathers because I don't think the salvage patina is kind of strong enough. Okay. There's that. Okie doke. Let me move these out of the way. Clean off my hands. Okay. Scoochy, scoochy, scoochy. So let's see. I think that's too high up. I don't think I like it that high. There we go. Somewhere like this. And then we'll put our little guy in here. I told you in my video the other day, like I dry fit to dry fit to dry fit to dry fit to dry fit. Oh, because I can't help it. So do I want to put, I don't know if we'll do the handle or not. Okay, and then we'll have our little shells in here. That'll be cute. I do like that. Okay. So now I am going to, what did I do with the, there it is. All right, so I'm going to cut another one of these for the back side. So I'm going to cut another one of these for the back of the bucket. And then I am going to cut a piece. I need a piece of acetate as well. Or I guess you could do vellum, but I want to be able to see those shells. So let me see. I use this. Yep, close enough for government work. I used this to make a gift set. You'll see that video coming up soon. All right. Okay. There we go. Let me turn this one around. Embossing powder. We're making our own embossing powder, Brandon. We're trying to replicate one that is no longer being made that I love. Okay. Okay. Alcohol inks. Embossing powder and alcohol inks. Reinkers will not, they're not the same thing because they're water-based. Okay. So let's scoot that. I'm just gonna cut this on, well no, I guess I'll bring it back up. I guess I'll bring it back up. I have not used it yet, Brandon, no. Because, let me say it again, you have to wait for it to completely dry because alcohol is flammable. So it must be completely dry before you try to use it or it will catch on fire. All right, so that's one. We're just going to flip it around and do it again. Okay. Oh, Josie, I hope so. I get nervous about weather. Okay. All right, so this doesn't have to be perfection. Sometimes acetate can be hard to cut out, and sometimes, like, see how I'm kind of like popping it around? Sometimes it has spots where it will get like a little bit stuck, but usually you can just like pop it out like that. So now I have the two pieces that this one's going to act like the back of my bucket. And I'm going to put this in here so that we can see through it and see our seashells on the inside. Maybe we'll put some sand in there. Maybe we'll put some sand in there. I'm not married to it. Okay. So what am I going to do the sentiment on? Where's my trash can? There it is. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll just heat emboss it on this corally color. Maybe I'll just do that. Okay. Sometimes we do gotta be working it through. Pardon me. All right. Put that in here. And remember, we're going with there's a couple of different ones in here, but we're going with the UR Special. And I believe I'm going to go with a little banner moment just in case. Have a bright day. Fun in the sun, make a splash. Maybe we'll do make a splash. That's kind of fun. Make a splash. Okay. So this one, I do have to be conscientious that I have enough to cut my banner out. So I do like to double check. Excuse me. Thank you so much. All right. So yeah, we'll have plenty of room to cut our banner out. So that's fine. And we'll grab this one as well. And put it up there. Okay, now I can put this back on. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Josie. You guys are always so nice to me. You have the nicest things to say. Okay. So now let me, all right, the white detail, that's what we want. And I'm going to treat with our anti-static tool. Yeah, she has a couple of different banner sets, which are great. I am going to stamp in white pigment ink. The banners probably aren't on sale because the sale is anything summer. Which, if you missed that part, all of their summer stuff is 15% off. Link in the description. Okay. There we go. And I'm using a white detail embossing powder. There is no code. It's automatically taken off out of the cart. The ladybug is adorable. I agree. Didn't we use that? I think we made a card with the ladybugs. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab my banner and grab the die for my sentiment up there. Oh, yeah, the stamp set is on sale. Denise, you are right, because it is a summer stamp set. All right. That's that. Tapesies. Okay, we got to get that centered. We're not married to the banner, but it is nice to have as an option. So, and then this one. Can I just hold it with this? Maybe. Maybe. Let's see if that'll hold it in place or not. Boop, boop. This one's so much easier. Yeah, the smoke was terrible. We haven't swam in our pool in like a week. But every time I got frustrated with the fact that it was cutting down on a lot of our vacation plans that we had made, I reminded myself that, like, at least my house wasn't on fire. So those poor people in Canada are losing a lot more. It is sad. Bye, Brandon. Okay. So these little guys, you just fold on the perforated line, fold back, and then fold up. And then on the other side as well, fold back, and then fold up. And then we have a little banner. Let's see. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. So now I'm going to put together our little bucket. I should have put a double-sided adhesive on the back of that before I cut it out. I never think about that. Do you guys? Do you think about that? I never think about it. It's an excellent idea, but I never think to put the adhesive sheets on the back. Is this going to be too wide? Yep, sure is. I don't think I have a thinner one. Maybe I do. Nope, that one I think is 1/4 of an inch too. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. That one's bigger, not smaller. Okay, let me see what I have in my drawer right quick. Nope. Nope. All right. I think I'm going to go the tape runner route. Yeah, see, okay, it's not just me. Everybody's missing it. All right. So I'm just doing the tape runner. Okay. So I'm going to adhere this to the acetate. Okay. Oh, hi, Lori. Okay. So now I'm going to put adhesive along here, but I'm not going to put it along the top. What's the best way to do this, I wonder? Probably hanging off the edge and just letting it go onto my desk, because I don't want the sticky part to be... I might have to just tear it. I don't think that's going to work on the acetate part of it. Bummer. All right, I'm back to this again. So this is so funny. Do you see my scissors? Which, by the way, Fisker scissors are not bad scissors, okay? But I have been using, for quite some time now, my non-stick detail scissors from Spellbinders, which are the cat's pajamas, okay? They're such good scissors. They were such a good investment for me. I love them because they are non-stick. I took them with me when I was doing the setup for the fundraiser. I took both. I have two. I do have, I don't, the red line tape I have is thick, Denise. And so I took my scissors with me to be able to do the setup and stuff because I needed good scissors. And then when we were leaving the hall, we had my car instead of Eric's truck, which was a good thing because let me tell you, he was helping bartend at the event, and he was enjoying himself very much. But anywho, so I am going to put it along the sides here. But anyway, so my sister was like, hey, since you don't have the truck, I'll just throw it in the back of my car. And then, the next time I'm over at dad's, I'll just drop it off, right? Because it's all just fundraiser stuff. And I won't need any of it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Totally cool. They are the cat's meow. And so anyway, she took my bag of things, which was very nice of her, but in my bag of things is all my scissors. So I'm slumming it with my old scissors. Because I don't have my luxury scissors. So I'm out here having to make do with non-stick scissors. All right. This is coming out a little far. I shouldn't have put it out that far. Thankfully, it picks up pretty easy. I need to buy the detail stitch when they have a sale. Yes. Spellbinders is pretty good they have sales pretty often. But they are also a company that's carried by a lot of other companies. So if like Honeybee or, if they're having a site-wide sale, they carry them. So you might be able to get them there, or like a scrapbook.com or something like that. Okay. Yeah, I had cutter bees for years, but the non-stick, man, the non-stick is so nice. And even my shears, like my big honkin' Spellbinder shears that I love and adore, I took those with me too. This is literally, if I lose these scissors, we're in trouble, guys, because I don't have any more. Okay. Let's line this up. Okay. And we should still be open at the top. We are. Wonderful. So now I should be able to, like a little pocket. See? And then we can put, I was going to do the stripies on that. Stand by. Nope, I don't like it. I'm going to do a pinky stripe. Okay. There we go. Give them a little bit of character. Yeah, the shears I got, so the shears are a little bit more expensive, but I actually got them in a holiday sale in a bundle. And so they were not as expensive. Would highly recommend. Like come Christmas time when they're doing their sales on their bundles and stuff. Would highly recommend. All right. So we got our little shells in our bucket. They're all on top of each other, though. I don't like that. We can be friends, but okay. See, one's hiding in there. All right, let's try it again. Let's try being more specific in our placement. There we go. Okay. And then maybe we could do like this one, like hanging out at the top, like it's a full bucket. Okay. And then we could do our little We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay, but nonetheless, this part is together. Now, before we can do the rest of it, we need this. Before we can do the rest of it, we have to go back to our, we don't need this. Yeah, we do. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our embossing powder. So here, this one spilled, remember, because I got, can you add a dot of tape to help hold them in place? Yes, I absolutely could put a glue dot behind there, but I think I want to sprinkle in some sand, so I'm not gluing anything down yet. Oh, Denise asked me that. Yes, I'm going to put something inside the bucket. All right, so when we have these, okay, you will see they are dry, but they are chunky, okay? If you want to use them individually, you can just smush them down and they will break back apart and become the fine embossing powder that they were when we started. Okay, you just smush them down. See? Okay, if you want to use them separate. I'm not going to use mine separate. I am going to use mine since we're trying to recreate the sand. Here was my first experiment. I am going to put this in here. Well, I'm going to put it in here first. Okay. You can pour this into whatever kind of just scooping it out. Okay. And then I'm going to use the pour spout on this side to dump it into my bag. Hi, Cynthia. And then I'm going to pour this in. Now this is our custom colored embossing powder. Light brown, dark brown, clear, and white. Okay. And then I am going to add in some metallics. Okay, because I do like a metallic. You could also add back in just some white on its own, like just a little bit of white on its own. Okay. This is platinum. This is gold. I think they have like a rose gold or something in their mix. But I don't have, I do have the rose gold, but I don't think that they are still making that one either. Okay, so gold. I think I am going to put in just a little bit of white. Okay, not a lot, just a little. All right, so then I'm going to smush out all the air. And I'm going to close this up. And then I'm going to use my fingers to break it apart. Okay. All right, so this is where we're at with our sand that we made. And this is the sand that's the mixed one. Okay, so that's what we got going on so far. I am going to take some of this. I'm not going to heat emboss it. I'm just going to take some of it and I'm going to put it into my little bucket here. See, I got them moving around now. All right. Because you know our seashells would not be pristine. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put any glitter or anything on them. Let's get these bad boys out of here. Okay. If I was a pair of tweezers. There they are. Okay. And you could even put some of this, like you could even, put some on your seashells if you wanted. I'm going to make sure I'm nice and sealed up down here. And then I'm going to put if it'll stay open. Stop it right now. You stop it right now. Okay. I'm going to put some sand in there. Okay, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Stop it. It's so good. Look at how cute that is. Oh my God, I love it so much. Make sure you're sealed up though. Otherwise your sand's going to be running out. Okay. I'm going to put some shimmer on these. Now remember, we did ink blend these, so it can reactivate your distress ink. So make sure you're painting in the direction that it would not be a big deal if you got some on there. Okay. Now, maybe I do need to just suck it up and glue them. I don't want to do, where's my, I bet you my daughter made off with it. She did. Let me see. I know. I'm sure I have another bottle. Oh, it's over here. Okay. I'm going to put some Tombow Mono multi-glue on the back of these. This glue dries repositionable. So I'm just going to put a couple of little swirls on there. Because this will just kind of tack them in place. Okay. I am also going to, here it is. I didn't put anything on the top because I was going to leave it open, but I don't want my sand spilling out. So I am going to put one of these along the top. And then once I get my seashell in, I'll just seal it right over the top of the seashell that's hanging out of the top. Does that make sense? Okay. Oh, I forgot. I got to trim it. I got to cut it with my non-stick scissors. My scissors that are sticky. We'll just call them that. Sticky scissors. Okay. So I'm going to put this along the top. Okay. Up here, please. There we go. Okay. And then we'll leave that on until it's time. All right. So now there we go. Okay. Now we're going to tweezer them. Dawn's probably laughing to herself right now because she knows once upon a time I was like, I don't need tweezers. I need tweezers. I just didn't know I needed tweezers. All right, so I'm kind of fitting them down in here, and then I'm just going to push them onto the back, and they should stay. I want my star to be kind of more in the corner there. There we go. Okay. We'll do this guy across. And then I want him to be down like this. And hey, now. And then this guy will be the one that's kind of sticking up out of the top, which I love for us and I think is so cute. Okay, now that we have all of our, let's put a little more sand in there so it can kind of get in the nooks and crannies, if you will. And then I'm going to pull the tab on this and then seal her up. So it is kind of like a shaker, but it's like a flat shaker. See, there's all that sand in our bucket. Sticking to our little seashells. Okay, adorable. Okay, but that's not why we made this. We made this to make sand on our beach, though it obviously does work very well for just regular sand. Okay, so now I need there it is. Okay. So you can kind of do this a couple of different ways. You can, distress ink is made to emboss with. So if you did this right after you did your ink blending, it would probably stick. Or you can use like a clear sticky ink. You could do down there, which is probably what I'm going to do. And you can apply that with like a pouncer. Somebody sent me a message and said somewhere had good pouncers, but I don't remember who it was. So I'm going to see if I can find my finger gubbers. There they are. Oh, my daughter was playing with them. Okay. And so I'm just going to take some ink and kind of tap it on. I'm not looking to cover up everything. I just want there to be some texture on there. So I'm not taking it all the way up, because that's for a different type of embossing. That's for a different thing, a different texture. Okay. So now let's check and see how our custom color embossing powder does comparatively. Actually, let's do a swipe on here too so we can see them next to each other. Okay. Preheating our heat tool. I don't want it to be this thick, so I'm just gonna kind of rough it up with my finger. Okay. I'm just going to feed this back into the bag. Okay. You guys, it's so good. Okay. I'm just going to check and make sure that I got down here. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, so it's not an exact match, but man, it's pretty close. It is pretty close. I'm so excited. So then here you can see down here, we have all that texture and the metallic, and then it looks like sand. So if you wanted it to be a little bit darker, I would maybe leave the white out. But I am thrilled with the way that it looks. I'm so happy. Yay. Okay. So then we'll have our beach here, and this is too high. We'll have our beach here, and we're going to tuck our little basket in. Okay. Like that. Maybe, do I want it tucked? Maybe I don't want it tucked in. Maybe I'll leave it out. I always thought I was tucking it in, but maybe I like it better left out. Okay, we'll see. I'm going to have to go back and see how you made that. It's not hard. It's not hard, and it is good. Okay. So I think here's the problem. I would like to put the surf on this, but if I heat it, I'm going to melt the embossing powder in here. So let me see what I have. I was originally going to do puff embossing powder, but I do have a snow marker, which might easily puff up with Marvihito. Oh, I got to heat that one too. Maybe not as hot though. Maybe not as hot though. Okay. All right. So I do think we're going to go ahead and adhere this. Shading to the shovel. I did add some shading to the shovel, just not my usual Kelly amount of shading to the shovel. Because I only used one marker this whole time, guys. All right. Okay. So I want it to be a little bit lower. Okay. Oh, I don't even have my shears to cut it off. We're going to have to use, oh, Lord. In the ghetto. That's how I feel right now. Okay. Okay, it didn't even cut. Oh, my God. Jesus, Lord. Okay, there we go. The Spellbinders and Pink Fresh is heat resistant. I did use Spellbinders acetate. And you're saying it's heat resistant. Oh, look at I couldn't even cut a straight line. And I had a guide. Oh my gosh. This just goes to show you how inept I am without my special tools now. Okay. Oh, Marcy. Oh no, you're in Florida with no AC? Girl, I could not do it. All right. So I do like the little shovel. Maybe we'll put the little shovel. I was going to say behind it, but I don't love that. All right. So maybe what if we scoot the bucket over and then I like the shovel. All right, let's look at the sentiment C and C. Okay. We could do that. We could do this. I feel like that takes less away from the scene. To put it up here. Shovel in the bucket. Okay, Michelle. Oh, that's cute. That's actually not a bad idea. Let me see if I can just slide it in there. Just a girl watching a crafting live wondering how she got peanut butter on her sleeve. That's funny. All right, I don't want to cover up my seashell. So I gotta pop that bad boy down and put the shovel in. There we go. That's cute. And it gives it a little bit of height, which I love. Okay. And then that kind of empty spot now we can I pull that guy back up? This is what, when everybody's like, oh, it's so nice that you leave your boo-boos in, like, because all of card making is boo-boos. I don't know if you know that, but it is. All of card making is boo-boos. All right. Okay, there we go. That's better. I did not even think about that. That was a great idea, sissy. Okay, and then, like I said, gives us a little bit of height. And then we can put the sentiment here. We're not taking away from any of our, I don't like the sentiment there. Disregard down here. I like that better. I do like that better. Okay. All right, so now let's do because this cut kind of wonky and I had to go back in, I'm going to go kind of back over this just to make sure I don't have any of that white edges down there. Okay. We're not going to use this. But I do want to do the surf. So for the surf, I was originally going to do the embossing powder, the puff embossing powder. Maybe I still will. So you have a couple of options for puffed. My idea for the year, I'm tapped now. You're so funny. Okay, so Hero Arts has a white puff, and as far as I can tell, they're still selling it. Wow also has a white puff, which is great, and they have a white puff twinkle. So they have a puff that has glitter in it. So those are your options for this type of technique. I think I'm going to use the one with the glitter in it. That's what I think I'm going to do. All right, so for this one, we do want to use our finger dauber. Where did it go? Did I put it back in the thingy? No, there's no way I put it back where it was supposed to go. No, absolutely not. I found it on my desk. All right. So we're going to take our clear ink and we're going to go right over where our water would be crashing on the surface. This is going to look crazy when we first put it on, but trust the process. We're also going to get kind of the bottom of the bucket here. Okay. And I just have to hope that this is still good. I'm gonna try to move as much of it as possible. It's like in the crease. Okay. All right, so now back to my sheet of paper. Oh, look at, I still have sand on there. I didn't wipe it off. My bad. Okay, and now we have the white puff twinkle. It's going to look not good, okay? Just know that, okay? It don't look good. It looked crazy. It looked like we put it on with a finger dauber, but that's fine because we're going to go back in, if we can find one. We're going to go back in with a paintbrush. That's kind of small. Here we go. Okay, we're going to go back in with a paintbrush and we're going to kind of knock it around a little to get it where we want it to go. I wouldn't waste a lot of time trying to make it super clean because like when it crashes on the sand, it isn't super clean. So I wouldn't be worried about that. We got Eleanor popping in. Hi, Eleanor. And then I'm going to put it just kind of on the bottom here. I don't really think I need to knock any off, honestly. Okay. Oh, we're not sealed. Look it. We're not sealed. Hi, Sharon. Okay. We'll have to worry about that sealing thing in an issue in a second. But for now, I am going to set this over here so that I can okay. Because I'm not losing all this embossing powder, y'all. I'm too cheap for that. So I had to separate it so that I can scoop off the contaminated part into the trash. And then I can put the rest back in here. Okay. So now we're going to heat set. Oh, yeah. See, so you did notice. You noticed it wasn't sealed before I noticed it wasn't sealed. Okay. And then when you heat this, it melts, but then it puffs. So then it gives us that little bit of surf. Isn't that so fun? So you can't, here, I don't know if you can see. You can see where they meet. So usually I'll go through and do like a second coat here if this is going to be widely visible. But because it's not, it's really more of an accent. I'm not going to go back and do it. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. This one I'm scared about, but we're going to hope that it puffs pretty quickly. I'm not going to keep pressing my luck. I'm going to say that's good. Okay. Now, we do need to come back down here and seal this bad boy. Oh no, Denise, be careful. Okay. I'm just going to go with liquid glue, I think. Doing it at this angle is challenging. There we go. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right, now I'm just going to hold that for a second. Okay. There we go. Okay, better. So now, maybe I need to put her up higher, like here. Or down lower. I feel like this needs more. I wonder if I can. I don't have that because my husband took it. I wonder if I could use the snow marker that we were talking about just to fill in the. Let me try this. Oh, hi, Lisa. Welcome. Thanks for popping in. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Okay. We made our own embossing powder. That's how we made the sand. So I'm thinking maybe let's put this on here and then maybe do some like underneath it. Like maybe that would be better. All right, let's glue it. Thank you all for your kind words. I appreciate you. Okay. Okay. I think the corally color was a good call. I think that's so pretty. Okay. We're gonna give it CPR for for a second. Okay. So now I wonder if maybe I didn't shake it enough. I wonder if I go around here, like around those edges. Ooh! That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. If I remember correctly, I think this one picks up the color of the distress ink. it's starting to pop. It did start to puff a little bit, but it is picking up the color of the Distress ink. So, all right, I think that's just going to have to be what that is. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. So let me tell you something that is happening that was an unintended consequence. But I'm not mad about it, but it's an unintended consequence of what I just did, because you never can predict this stuff. So I used the snow marker and I put it down here. You guys saw that there was a lot of extra liquid that came out that I was not trying to have happen. But if you look, I'm going to zoom in for us. It actually has seeped into the inside of the bucket. And it looks like there's like sand and now water on the inside of the buckets, which was totally not my intention. It's not moving, so it's not still squelchy. But that is crazy. I'm not mad about it, but that is wild how that looks. Okay, back out. No, I'm going back in. Back out. There we go. All right. So now we're going to put our sentiment down here, right? That's what we decided. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good. I do need to put like just a little piece of foam tape, a thin one. Where's the Are those all black? I think they are. Okay, let me. Do I have them thinner? Here, yeah, the honeybee one's pretty thin. I'm worried about y'all on the tornado warnings. Oh, Lisa, they're so nice. They're like the best. Crafters are the best group ever. And I might be biased, but I think this particular group of crafters that comes and hangs out with me pretty often is the bestest ever. All right. So I just need to pop this underneath this side. That might be too much. Let me see. Nope, that's good actually. Okay. Okay. That's cute. I don't really think we need to do. I think that's probably it, don't you? You think we're missing anything? We put the glitters on the seashells before we put it in. Let me bring me back here. There we go. Yay. Okay. Oh, you guys are always so nice to each other. I love that. All right. I'm really happy with the way that this came out. So we made our own embossing powder. This is the one we were trying to mimic. And then this is the one that we created. I think that we got pretty close. I love the way that it looks down here. I'm so happy to know that even though that company is not making it anymore, that we can do our own thing. And then here, it's not a shaker. It could be. We could lift it up and do it as a shaker. But I'm pretty happy with the way that it came out. Yay. All right. So Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I always appreciate you. I will have some other videos coming up this week. I finished. I'll give you a little sneaky peek. Remember, I told you I used the acetate. So I made this. It's a gift card set. I'm excited about it. Anyway, so that video will be forthcoming, and I have some other ones as well. Don't forget that Pretty Paper is just having a summer sale, 15% off all of their summer items. It's linked below. The cards, your card is fire. Thank you so much. So you can go and pick up any of their summer things for 15% off. There's no code needed. It's taken out directly at the cart. And yeah, so I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Okay.